And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on watch. Another error that I guess some warden told you this. There are sentenced inmates there. They're called cadre inmates. They don't have to be white collar inmates, but they're doing maintenance on the building. And the problem why there's a lot of violence there, they have housing units. And they're mixing bank robbers, drug dealers, rapists with white collar people. And this is why Diddy, he can't go into a regular housing unit because somebody will take him out for sure. Somebody's gonna get a lot of street credibility out of this. People that are doing substantial time that know they're never getting out. They'll just kill the guy, no questions asked.
You think that they'd suck up to him because he's got a lot of money, and if he ever does get the commissary options, he would be able to help them.
Some people do. Because
I got to wrap it real quick.
Okay, some people do think that Diddy can help them, but this guy's going to be locked up forever. His case will probably take at least 3 years to litigate. He'll stay at MDC. There's rumors that he wants to go to Essex County Jail in New Jersey.
Breaking news from behind bars. Sean Diddy Combs, the once untouchable music mogul, has reportedly been attacked in prison. The shocking incident has left him scared for his life and living in constant fear. What could have triggered this assault, and how did someone as high profile as Diddy become such a vulnerable target? Prison is no playground, especially for someone like Diddy, whose fame and fortune have now made him a walking target. Speculations are swirling about whether this was a calculated move, an act of revenge, or a brutal reminder of the unforgiving dynamics of life behind bars. And what's even more startling, the psychological toll this incident has allegedly taken on him, leaving a man who once dominated the entertainment industry reduced to constant paranoia. But this isn't just a story about the attack, it's a window into the harsh realities faced by celebrities in prison, where resentment, power struggles, and danger lurk around every corner. Stay with us as we dive deep into what we know about the attack, the motives behind it, and how Diddy is coping with this terrifying turn of events. Trust us, you don't want to miss a single detail.
Everyone who Diddy secretly recorded is now out to get him. If Diddy decides to cooperate with the feds, some of the biggest and most powerful people in this country will go down.
Going back to Cardell Smith's filing, his notice says that Jennifer Lynn Lopez, aka J-Lo, aka Jenny from the Block, quote, will be called as a material witness and expert to Sean Combs' viewing, possession, and distribution of his sexual assault upon the plaintiff in 1997, and the orders of defendant Sean Combs forcing Jennifer Lopez to remain silent about the videotaped sexual assault plaintiff by defendant. Plaintiff states that the material witness Jennifer Lynn Lopez, also known as J-Lo and Jenny from the Block, was engaged in a relationship with the defendant Sean Combs during 1999 and 2001, and that the sexual assault of the plaintiff was recorded, distributed, and held by the defendant at his New York residence and recording studio. And during the relationship with Jennifer Lopez, she was made privy to this video that was taken by Sean Combs and his employee Kirk Burrows. She, J-Lo, has known this video existed and was in existence and took no action to make it known to anyone in law enforcement, and that she was even questioned by New York Police Detective Derek Palmer about this matter, and that the report will show that her answers to this tape was and still remains a resounding yes to its existence.
Breaking news from behind bars. The world is buzzing as reports surface about a shocking attack on Sean Diddy Combs within the walls of his prison. Once a symbol of wealth and power, Diddy now faces the harsh reality of life behind bars, where fame often becomes a liability rather than an asset. The incident has sparked widespread speculation about the circumstances that led to this violent altercation and its implications for the embattled music mogul. The aftermath of the attack paints a grim picture. Sources allege that Diddy is now living in in constant fear for his life, with heightened paranoia and anxiety overtaking his once unshakable confidence. The stark contrast between his life as a mogul and his current existence as an inmate is a harsh reminder of how quickly fortunes can change. As rumors swirl, many are questioning whether his incarceration environment is adequately equipped to protect someone of his status. Public reaction has been swift and intense. Fans have flooded social media with messages of concern, while critics have used the moment to revisit Diddy's controversial past. The news has ignited debates about the safety of high-profile inmates and whether they receive special treatment or face greater dangers due to their notoriety.
Diddy Combs has been denied bail in connection with the sexual abuse and sex trafficking charges he faces. And as Les Trent reports, the music mogul who once traveled by private jet to all those mansions is now in a jail that is notorious for its bad living conditions.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs spent his first night behind bars inside a facility that is being called Hell on Earth. The Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn is notorious for its appalling living conditions and rampant violence. How bad is it inside this federal lockup? There have been 2 murders, 4 suicides, and numerous stabbings and lockdowns in recent years. It's so out of control inside that 4 federal judges are reportedly refusing to send any more prisoners here. Donald Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, spent a harrowing year in federal custody. He says for someone used to a life of luxury like Diddy, prison life is a severe shock.
You have a desk, you have a plastic chair, you have your bed with a 1.5-inch mattress, no pillow, and you also have a locker. So you basically have 3 feet by 5 feet to move around. So you have a basic 15 square feet. It is a horrible, horrible place.
Diddy's lawyers were so eager to keep him out of jail, they offered his palatial $48 million home in Miami Beach and his private jets as bail. Today, they are even offering to restrict female visitors to his homes, except for his mother, daughters, and the mothers of his children if he is released.
The environment of danger, life in prison for high-profile inmates. Life behind bars is fraught with dangers, especially for high-profile figures like Diddy. Unlike regular inmates, celebrities are often viewed as trophies by others looking to make a name for themselves within the prison hierarchy. This notoriety creates unique risks, as wealth and fame can incite jealousy, resentment, and even calculated acts of violence. Prison power dynamics further compound these risks. Inmates with resources or influence are frequently targeted by those seeking to climb the social ladder behind bars. Rivalries and unspoken rules govern much of the interaction within prisons, and any perceived slight or act of disrespect can escalate into violence. For someone like Diddy, whose reputation precedes him, navigating this complex web of relationships is particularly treacherous. While protective custody measures exist to shield vulnerable inmates, they are far from foolproof. Isolation from the general population can provide a degree of safety, but it also comes with its own set of psychological challenges. Moreover, even the most secure environments have their cracks, as evidenced by incidents involving other high-profile inmates in the past.
I want to bring in Larry Levine. He is a former federal prisoner who served time at 11 institutions of various security levels in 5 different states, and he now advises people who are about to go to prison. As the founder and director of Wall Street Prison Consultants. And of course, he's a friend of the show. So breaking news right now, Larry, I am just getting word. People Magazine says it's got a source on the inside that tells them that P. Diddy's on suicide watch tonight. Do your sources confer the same information? Are they saying it was possible?
Hey, real quickly, all that commissary stuff, he's not getting any of that because people in the SHU have an abbreviated list. So he's out of luck. No stake for him. Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest. When they told his bond hearing, now they checked him into the system, and reality has hit him. And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. And now there's talk about putting him in, it's like a bubble. It's like a cell that has like a plexiglass wall in it where they have inmates watching you. That's actually their job, to keep an eye on the inmates that are on suicide watch. Another error that I guess some warden told you this. There are sentenced inmates there. They're called cadre inmates.
What triggered the attack? Speculation is rife about what could have led to the attack on Diddy. Some suggest it may have been an act of revenge tied to his past controversies or legal troubles. Others believe it could have been a power play, with an inmate attempting to assert dominance by targeting someone as well known as Diddy. Resentment against his wealth and privilege is another potential factor, as such disparities often spark tensions within prison walls. Diddy's legal history provides a possible backdrop for the incident. His name has been embroiled in numerous scandals over the years, and unresolved animosities may have followed him into his current predicament. Allegations of exploitation and abuse have made him a polarizing figure, potentially fueling hostility among inmates who are aware of his past. Prison dynamics likely played a role in the altercation. The rigid, unspoken rules that govern life behind bars can be unforgiving, especially for outsiders unfamiliar with their nuances. A misstep, whether intentional or accidental, could easily escalate into conflict, particularly for someone of Diddy's prominence.
From his $48 million Miami mansion to hell on earth where chaos reigns. Just some of the words used to describe the Metropolitan Detention Center where Sean Diddy Combs is now being held without bail after pleading not guilty to sex trafficking and racketeering charges. He is not the first high-profile inmate to pass through these walls. Ghislaine Maxwell, R. Kelly, Pharma Bro, Martin Shkreli, and crypto fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried, all as they waited for their federal criminal trials, called this jail home. But the conditions of the prison are far from homey, notoriously described as, quote, dreadful, as one judge put it. Some on the bench have even moved away from sending nonviolent defendants there. In April, a group of detainees that prosecutors said were MS-13 gang members in court documents stabbed an inmate 44 times in an attack caught on camera. 2 shivs were recovered from the attack. You see them here. The victim survived. And in the last 3 years alone, 4 inmates have died by suicide. And violence is not the only issue. Accusations of medical neglect, staffing shortages, smuggling of drugs, some allegedly facilitated by employees.
I've had clients describe MDC as hell.
The details of the attack, what we know so far. Details about the attack on Diddy remain scarce, but initial reports indicate that it occurred in a common area of the prison during a routine activity. Witnesses describe a sudden, unprovoked assault with the assailant allegedly targeting Diddy in a calculated move. The exact motive remains unclear, but the attack has left the music mogul shaken and wary of his surroundings. The extent of Diddy's injuries is still under investigation, but sources suggest they may not have been life-threatening. However, even minor wounds in such an environment carry significant risks due to limited access to medical care and the potential for infection. Prison officials have reportedly placed Diddy under heightened surveillance to prevent further incidents. Fellow inmates have offered conflicting accounts of the attack. Some claim it was a planned act of aggression, while others suggest it may have been a spontaneous altercation. Regardless, the incident has sparked a wave of unrest within the prison, with increased scrutiny now being placed on the facility's security measures.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that route.
Diddy's fear for his life, the psychological impact. The attack has left Diddy in a state of constant fear, according to insiders. Living in an environment where violence can erupt at any moment has reportedly taken a toll on his mental health. For someone accustomed to luxury and control, the loss of autonomy and constant vigilance required in prison is a jarring adjustment. Adjusting to prison life is difficult for anyone, but the challenges are magnified for a high-profile inmate like Diddy. The attack has forced him to adopt a defensive mindset, always looking over his shoulder and questioning the intentions of those around him. This heightened state of alertness is both mentally and physically exhausting. Reports suggest that Diddy is struggling emotionally, with bouts of anxiety and paranoia becoming more frequent. The psychological toll of his circumstances raises questions about the adequacy of mental health support for inmates, particularly those dealing with the added pressures of fame and notoriety.
It's now been 1 week since the arrest of Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy is now at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a place that's been described as hell on earth. Fox 5's Lisa Evers is at MDC right now on Diddy's life behind bars. Lisa, what are you finding out tonight?
Well, Natasha and Steve, for the first time in his life, Sean Diddy Combs has spent a week behind bars. He's here inside MDC, where he's been since his arrest on Monday night on federal sex trafficking and other charges, to all of which he's pleaded not guilty. There's no VIP section, there is no concierge, only conmen, killers, and kingpins. MDC is so bad, federal judges have questioned the harsh conditions for those here awaiting trial. So bad, I was here 2 years ago during a cold spell, reporting on detainees with no heat, pounding on windows for help. There was even a congressional inquiry. But take the word of a former inmate I spoke with who goes by Esco.
It's terrible. The food is terrible. Of course, the inmates are terrible. The guards are terrible. The conditions are terrible. It's just terrible.
The inmates that you're surrounded around, just in general, a lot of them are brought up on pretty heavy federal indictments, right? So just in terms of the atmosphere there, it's just certainly one that no one wants to be in.
Combs was placed in a special housing unit and on suicide watch, the standard protocol for high-profile celebrity detainees.
Prison protocols, investigations, and consequences. Following the attack, prison authorities have launched an investigation to determine the circumstances and identify those responsible. Such incidents trigger a series of protocols, including interviews with witnesses, reviews of surveillance footage, and disciplinary actions for the perpetrators. The assailant, if identified, could face severe consequences, ranging from solitary confinement to additional charges that extend their sentence. However, enforcing these punishments can be complicated by the politics and power structures within the prison system. Retaliation and cover-ups are not uncommon, making the pursuit of justice a complex endeavor. For Diddy, the incident may lead to changes in his status within the facility. He could be moved to a different section or placed under stricter protective measures. While these adjustments may enhance his physical safety, they also come with emotional and social trade-offs, including increased isolation.
Breaking news right now, Larry. I am just getting word. People magazine says it's got a source on the inside that tells them that P. Diddy's on suicide watch tonight. Do your sources confer the same information? Are they saying it was possible?
Yeah, he is on suicide watch. This guy thought he would have went home. All of a sudden, he didn't get bond. Remember, the first night that he was there, he was like an overnight guest. When they told his bond hearing, now they checked him into the system, and reality has hit him. And I understand that he has a shrink coming by his cell to see him several times a day. They have housing units, and they're mixing bank robbers, drug dealers, rapists with white-collar people. And this is why Diddy, he can't go into a regular housing unit because somebody will take him out for sure.
High-profile inmates and targeted violence. Diddy's attack is not an isolated incident. High-profile inmates have long faced heightened risks behind bars. Figures like Jeffrey Epstein, R. Kelly, and Suge Knight have all encountered violence or threats during their incarcerations. The pattern highlights the unique vulnerabilities of celebrities in prison. The resentment factor plays a significant role in such attacks. Wealth and status can provoke envy and anger among inmates who feel marginalized or powerless. For high-profile figures, every interaction is fraught with the possibility of conflict, whether over perceived slights or more calculated agendas. Ensuring the safety of high-profile inmates is a complex challenge for prison authorities. Balancing their protection with the need to maintain order and avoid favoritism often leads to difficult decisions, and gaps in the system can have devastating consequences.
And darlings, the bombshells just keep dropping. Kat made this jaw-dropping prediction that 2024 would be the year when all the industry's big players would face some serious heat. He straight up declared that all the lies would come tumbling down. And let me tell you, that statement had Hollywood's elite clutching their designer pearls. But here's the really juicy part. Kat revealed he knows things he shouldn't even know about. And honey, the moguls are well aware of it. Now Jay-Z's caught up in these massive legal troubles connected to Diddy. And if you ask me, that's no coincidence. Kat was definitely onto something major, and now Jay-Z and all the other big names are feeling some type of way about it. The question on everyone's lips is, just how far will HOV go to keep his reputation squeaky clean?
Public and media reaction to the attack. The The news of Diddy's attack has ignited a firestorm of reactions across social media and traditional news outlets. Fans have expressed concern for his safety, while critics have pointed to his past controversies as a potential catalyst for the violence. The incident has become a focal point for discussions about celebrity privilege and accountability. Social media platforms have amplified the narrative, with hashtags, memes, and debates flooding timelines. Some users speculate about the motives behind the attack, while others question the fairness of Diddy's treatment within the prison system. The viral nature of the story underscores the intersection of celebrity culture and public fascination with scandal. Media coverage has been both extensive and varied, with some outlets focusing on the sensational aspects of the attack, while others highlight the systemic issues it exposes. The balance between reporting the facts and fueling speculation remains a contentious issue, particularly in high-profile cases like this.
We've got breaking news from New York. A lawsuit has accused rapper Jay-Z of raping a 13-year-old girl in 2000, allegedly alongside Sean Diddy Combs. The anonymous accuser says the alleged assault happened after the teen was driven to an MTV Video Music after party. The federal suit was originally filed in October, listing Combs as a defendant. It's now been refiled to include Carter. None of the allegations have been proven in court. Carter is the first celebrity to be accused of sexual assault in connection to Combs.
Diddy's legal troubles and their connection to his prison struggles. Diddy's current predicament cannot be separated from his legal history, which has been marked by allegations of exploitation, abuse, and other controversies. These unresolved issues have undoubtedly influenced public perception of him, both inside and outside of prison. Ongoing lawsuits and allegations have kept Diddy in the spotlight, adding another layer of complexity to his prison experience. For some inmates, his notoriety may make him a target, either as a symbol of wealth or as someone with unresolved grudges. The attack has further tarnished Diddy's already embattled reputation. While his legal team continues to fight his battles in court, the incident serves as a stark reminder of the challenges that come with fame, power, and accountability.
There's an accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're gonna find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things.
This is on your.
Put that out.
Yeah, this is on. 50? Yeah, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still gonna have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back, but the NFL, they won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah. I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of the culture. I'm just telling you my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre a little.
Right.
And then, maybe I stay out of trouble.
Nah.
Listen, the guy was involved in music, right? Yes. And you get compromising information on these guys and get them 100%. To sign very unfavorable contracts. Yes. Like, what better way to get a guy to sign an unfavorable contract where you're going to get billions, because he was a billionaire, right? You that guy and film it. Yes. You get video of your boys that guy and filming it.
Or
you let him know you always have that.
Underage girl.
Well, you put these guys on GHB or whatever they're putting them on. They're out of their minds. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
Don't say blow their assholes
out. Yeah, that's what he was doing.
But you're
100% right.
And stuff. That's for sure.
But do you know Diddy won a lawsuit against that alcohol company? The alcohol company?
Ciroc?
Ciroc, he won like $1 billion deal, and once that happened, then this all came out.
Oh, well, what did he win? What was the deal?
Some lawsuit? It's some racism thing.
Well, it's like they probably all
have you looked
knew.
Into this?
Everybody probably all knew.
What this means for Diddy's future. In the wake of the attack, questions about Diddy's future loom large. Prison officials may implement heightened security measures to ensure his safety, but such steps often come at the cost of increased isolation and restricted freedoms. The psychological impact of the attack cannot be understated. Diddy's ability to adapt to his new reality will depend on his mental resilience and the support he receives, both from within the prison system and from his legal team. Ultimately, Diddy's story serves as a cautionary tale about the perils of fame and the consequences of one's actions. As the world watches, his experience highlights the stark contrast between the glitz of celebrity life and the harsh realities of accountability. And there you have it, the shocking details surrounding the attack on Diddy inside prison and how it's left him fearing for his life. From the harsh realities of life behind bars to the speculations about what triggered this assault, it's clear that even fame and fortune can't shield someone from the dangers of prison life. But what do you think about all this? Was Diddy's reputation or past controversies the reason for this attack? Or is it just another example of the harsh dynamics at play in prison? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more updates and deep dives into stories that matter. Your support means the world to us and helps us bring you the content you care about. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.